Well, good win for our team. 2 games in 3 days in the Big Ten. As everybody had to do it as an adjustment, and there's not a lot of time to really prepare for obviously well-coached teams. I thought our team did a nice job of bouncing back tonight. Had a number of different guys step up and make a lot of winning plays, and was really pleased for the most part, other than the lack of responsibility coming out of halftime. You know, that can't happen against the teams that we're playing. That just can't happen, especially at home. But it was nice to see our resolve. We ended up digging ourselves back out of that hole, and were able to finish the game off. And, you know, for the most part, pleased with today's win.
Mike?
You mentioned the resolve there in the second half. How much of that is just kind of learning to fix things on the fly? Is this team maybe getting a little bit better at that, you know, working it on the fly?
What was the question? Sorry.
Just with the resolve in the second half, I mean, how much better is this team maybe getting at fixing things on the fly, just being able to work in the moment?
Well, Colin's a big part of that. You know, Colin is a leader. He's a fifth-year guy, and any times that your seniors are out there playing well and talking and communicating, you know, good things can happen. That lineup with him and Juwan was really a big key in the first half, and then I thought it was a really big key in the second half of regrouping us. And you know, I give him a lot of credit in terms of his spunk, his attitude, and whatnot. And you know, I thought, again, though, we had a lot of different guys make some plays. I thought Devontae had a really good first half for us. And I thought Juwan continues to be very consistent, so to speak, with his workmanlike approach. You know, to be able to get another double-double here tonight wasn't easy, but you know, made some real winning tough plays when we needed them. You know, to start that after that first 4 minutes didn't go well, he came around for us.
Great.
Archie, you from the moment you got here, you've been talking up Deron Davis and setting the bar kind of high for him.
Yeah.
Where is he on where he's going to be?
Well, you know, he's having to learn how to, you know, be able to do it every night. You know, it's difficult, you know, especially when, you know, he has some success, I think, against Duke, and then all of a sudden he has a game not so good against Michigan. We needed him to come back tonight, and I thought he did some good things in the second half when he was able to finish, but just a little bit inconsistent around the basket right now in terms of his finishing. He's got such great touch. I'm not real sure why he's having that inability. You know, he was 5 for 11 from the floor, and he didn't shoot past 1 foot. So, I mean, he's missing some bunnies. And then the foul line continues to plague him a little bit. But all in all, if you look at it, 18 minutes, 13 points, 6 rebounds in 18 minutes, I mean, I think everyone would probably take that. You're always searching for the perfect game, but, you know, he's going to be a guy that, you know, we need. And especially as we move into the next couple weeks and into Big Ten play, you know, he's got to be able to deliver for us, not only at home, but be on the road as well.
Does he have it in him to finish at the rim by flushing it in traffic?
He's not a great above-the-rim guy, and I think he's playing a lot of minutes, so fatigue plays a little bit of a role. But for whatever reason, he's missing some easy bunnies, which he wasn't missing earlier. So that'll come back around. I think that works itself out. But, you know, we got to try to get those guys as best we can around the basket, try to finish it home, dunk the ball, don't leave any doubt. But, you know, I think he was shooting close to 70% up until maybe the last couple games. So he's done a good job when he's got it down there.
It's 53-50, and you guys going on an 18-0 run. I mean, just talk about the things you guys are able to do there.
We're able to regroup defensively. I think we were able to regroup defensively, and then our defense to offense was pretty good in this game. I think you saw a much faster playing team than we were on Saturday. And, again, I think the skill level that was out there with Juwan and Colin really spaces the floor, so we were able to get some really good unselfish plays, unselfish passing, and that team got going in transition, and we were able to hold it off. But, you know, it was 41-26 at the half, I believe, and then it was 43-42 right away. I mean, that's the thing that bothers you a little bit. But to be able to regroup and then come right back and have a good burst about us was good to see.
Rick?
Juwan, that's 2 double-doubles in his last 6 games. I think over his last 6, he's averaging almost 17. Is he just more confident, more assertive?
He's very confident, but he's sticking to the script. He's not trying to do anything that he doesn't do every day in practice. If you watch him in practice, it's very workmanlike, and what you're seeing in the game is a guy that's duplicating sort of what he does every day, which is a great trait to have. And he probably hasn't shot the ball from the 3-ball as well as he can. I think he's getting some good looks. Hopefully, as the season goes along, he's able to stretch us out a little bit. But he's definitely a workman-like defensively, offensively. He's doing a lot of good things for us, and he's giving us a presence in the rim, you know, rebounding the ball. He's got 4 second shots. He gets 10 more rebounds here. So, you know, he's doing really well, and I think, you know, he's having a chance here as he heads to January to be one of the more consistent guys in our league, hopefully.
I guess to follow up about Juwan, you talked about him as a guy that you really felt could thrive with the way you wanted to play, even going back into the spring and summer. Is this kind of maybe the player, at least at a basic level, you had in mind of what he could bring?
Yeah, without question. I mean, he's rebounding the ball better than I ever anticipated. So that's a pleasant surprise. He's embraced the rebounding, the effort plays. He's getting to the foul line with a decent average. And I think the inside-out game that he's able to play with Duran is good, but he's also able to play with Collins. So you have two guys out there that can move around a little bit. You can see they're kind of free-flowing when those two guys are out there. They know how to play with one another. So definitely Juwan, we're asking him to do a lot of different things, but he's definitely a guy I think with the way we play can be successful.
Mike?
Actually, now that you've done it, how do you like playing Big Ten games in early December, and how strange will it be not to play another league game in early November?
Well, I think that it's inevitably going to be the staple of our league from this point forward. I think you'll see multiple weeks of December Big Ten games. That way they can really space the inventory out in January and February where your coaches and your players have a routine and a rhythm. But early in December, you could see a couple of these, maybe 3, maybe 4 games happening. And I think it's great. I mean, playing a Big Ten game here early, you get tested. You're on the road and you're at home. It's kind of one of those deals where you got to have that bounce back mentality. It's tough to do, but I like it. I think it's going to be great for our league as we continue to push forward with 20 games. But make no doubt, 2 games in 3 days, 1 on the road and 1 at home is difficult for your players. The recovery, the prep is very hard, and everyone has to do it. So I guess it's even in that regard, which is good. But it's something I think will be good for our league down the road. We'll get used to it. Got no problem playing a conference game right now.
Drew?
There in the first half, you guys were kind of sluggish there early. Devontae kind of got you guys going. How pleased were you with the minutes he gave you guys off the bench tonight?
Yeah, he was very good tonight. Devontae had one of his more consistent games, especially in the first half. I thought he made some really tough plays for us. Defensively, he was pretty good off the ball. He got a couple good loose ball steals, a couple deflections, which got us going. It was very, very good to see with Devontae. Devontae's going to be a guy that if he just kind of hangs in there and keeps going and keeps concentrating, I think he's a guy that can show that he's a lot more than what he has in maybe the last 5 or 6 games. Maybe regain a little bit that he had early in November, in October when he was starting the season. But pleased with Devontae. I thought he helped us win the game in a big way tonight.
Seth?
It looked like it was DeJuan that actually called the timeout at the end of that run. You've obviously touched on his play, but how much has he stepped up as a leader so far this season?
Yeah, quietly, Juwan is a guy that's, like I said, he's brought his lunch pail almost every day that he's been here. There haven't been very many days where he doesn't show up and give great effort. And he's a guy I think that on our team everyone's looking at to get the job done on every given night. And if you look at sort of how he's playing, I think he's become a key figure in terms of our stability. We need him on the floor. He gives us a presence offensively, and he gives us a presence defensively. He can guard multiple positions, and he's rebounding the ball well. So I also think he's very comfortable. He understands exactly what we're asking him to do, and he's prepared to do it.
You were talking a moment ago about scheduling. Now you go back to non-conference games. Louisville up next. Just some early impressions about that matchup.
I haven't seen them as much. I know they're very big. I know they're very talented. Going to Louisville will be a difficult challenge. Their defenses and their size is something that clearly is a concern for us. I think offensively being able to play on the road and not turn it over is a huge deal. But like I said, we basically had 2 clunkers, on the road. We're 0 for 2 right now on the road, and we haven't played well in either game, really. So I think that the goal is to regroup. We finally have some chance here for a week where we can practice a little bit and get better at some of the things we're struggling at, which is good, and then heading to Louisville and trying to play as hard as we possibly can play against a really good team.
10 turnovers tonight. It seems like overall the turnover percentage from a team perspective is trending downward.
It's trending downward, yeah. First half turnovers, I think we had 7 in the first half, and some of them were just catching the ball into the basket, some sloppiness in terms of catching. But I think we're taking care of the ball. Specifically in the second half, I thought we took care of it much better. And we want to be a team that plays, no more than, 10, 11 turnovers a game. I think if we're at that range, if we're not turning it over, to our guys' credit, we're scoring some points. But we can't squander, 7 possessions in the first half. But it's trending downward for sure. I think a lot of it's just decision-making. And we're not trying to hit the home run as much as we used to with the old one-hand bounce pass or the one-hand baseball pass. I think we've started to eliminate some of those.
Last question, Andy.
There was a period in the first half where Devontae was checking Jack Nungy defensively, 6'11" guy.
Yeah.
So how crucial is it for you to have Freddie or Justin Smith or even down the road Clifton Moore, some of the bigs to come along and help you match up?
Yeah, it's difficult because, Nunji's in their system is playing more of a perimeter role, so they have two true front court players on the floor and they move him out there. So it's the gift of size that you're dealing with. But that's the hands we were dealt. So we'll try to guard those. You're going to see Louisville, the size of Louisville on the perimeter is about as good as it's going to get. And we're a little undersized. I think Zach helps us. I think if you put Zach out there for 12 to 15 minutes, he's a bigger body. He really plays hard. I think those are really key minutes that Zach's able to give us. I think eventually, maybe some point in time, making Justin a true wing guy that he is, but playing some of those guys could be important. It's a concern for our team as we keep playing bigger teams that, if we're not able to defend or rebound, there's got to be a counter to that. And I think right now the counter has been Zach. And I think Zach has done a nice job when we've given him the opportunity. He's helped us win.